Something is wrong with the car market. The prices of used cars have taken a dramatic turn and are skyrocketing at an alarming rate, and the effects are beyond shocking. So why is this happening, and what does it mean for both buyers and sellers in the car market? We've got all the answers for you. In this video, we are exploring the factors behind this surprising trend and will shed light on the impact it's having on the industry. From supply chain disruptions to chip shortages, rental car companies, and even changes in consumer behaviors, we'll unravel the driving forces behind this unprecedented shift. And the biggest question we have is this: should you wait to buy your next used car? Let's take a look. It's no secret that used car prices have reached record highs, catching the attention of car shoppers worldwide. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the used car index has surged by over 40% from December 2019 to October 2022. The used car market operates on the principle of supply and demand, where sellers aim to sell vehicles at the highest price buyers are willing to pay. In this case, buyers have shown a remarkable willingness and ability to pay astronomical prices, leading to the skyrocketing prices we are witnessing. The surge in used car prices have left many wondering if they'll ever return to previous levels. It's a question on the mind of buyers who are contemplating a purchase amidst these inflated prices. Before we take a look at how the market has flipped upside down, we need to understand what caused the price increase in the first place. The most obvious question to ask here is, how did we end up in this situation? Well, the current state of the used car market is the result of both increased demand and decreased supply. The spike in demand stems from various sources, including prospective new car buyers who find themselves priced out of the new car market. Additionally, individuals who accumulated savings during the pandemic are now eager to make significant purchases, including used cars. Job security concerns, which delayed some buyers' decisions, have also played a role, as individuals now find themselves needing to replace aging vehicles. Adding to the surge in demand, historically low interest rates have allowed buyers to stretch their budgets and afford higher-priced vehicles while keeping their monthly payments in check. Let's take a deeper look into the three main causes of used car market inflation. On the supply side, things are a bit more complex. The shortage of used cars can be traced back to disruptions in the new car industry during the pandemic. As new car production ground to a halt, manufacturers canceled parts orders in anticipation of extended disruptions. However, when demand for new vehicles rebounded unexpectedly, automakers struggled to meet the market's needs. Take a drive by any dealership around your area, and you'll see a limited number of new cars on the lot. Consequently, new car prices soared, forcing many buyers to consider the used car market instead. This increased demand for used cars, combined with decreased trade-ins and the redirection of rental car fleets into used car purchases, has led to a scarcity of available vehicles. But what disrupted the new car industry in the first place? We've all heard about the shortage of semiconductor chips, a result of the pandemic, which is affecting major players like General Motors, Ford, Honda, Toyota, and more. The consequences of this shortage have rippled through the used car market, leading to higher prices. Why was there a chip shortage in the first place? Well, there are a couple of reasons. First, the temporary plant shutdowns in 2020 led chip makers to redirect their supplies to other customers, leaving automakers with limited chip availability when production resumed. Additionally, the increased integration of technology in vehicles has created a higher demand for chips, not only from the automotive industry but also from other consumer electronic manufacturers. Some automakers may attempt to navigate the shortage by taking shortcuts or making adjustments. For example, GM decided to reduce the fuel economy on certain models by foregoing a computerized model that required a chip. However, these measures are temporary solutions. We all know that as technology continues to advance, vehicles rely even more on chips. While we anticipate a decline in used car prices, it's important to note that the rate of decline will likely be gradual compared to the rapid increase we witnessed. The market's future trajectory depends on a multitude of factors such as increased rate fluctuations, production levels of new cars, and the ongoing impact of the pandemic on supply chains. Although experts predict a drop in prices, it's challenging to determine the exact extent of the decline. Even with prices already starting to drop, it's unlikely that they will return to pre-pandemic levels. Natural market forces dictate that, over time, used car prices will continue to experience some degree of increase. As we navigate these markets' dynamics, it's crucial to consider the total cost of ownership, including financing. Interest rates are climbing as the Federal Reserve addresses inflation concerns, which can impact the overall expense of owning a used car. Savvy used car shoppers will be sure to carefully evaluate their financing options to mitigate the impact of rising rates. Now, you may be wondering if certain types of cars will experience more significant price drops than others. According to J.D. Power Valuation Services, the decline in prices won't be uniform across all vehicle segments. Small, compact, and mid-size passenger cars, which currently experience heightened demand, may see larger declines compared to other segments. So the big question remains, should you wait to buy a used car? Well, it depends on your specific circumstances. If you urgently need a car due to your current vehicle's condition, it may be necessary to make a purchase. However, if you have the luxury of time and prices are a concern, exercising patience might prove advantageous. According to a report titled Used Market Enters Uncharted Territory Post-Pandemic carried out by Edmunds, though used car prices have shown a slight decline recently, they remain historically high. Edmunds data gathered from dealer retail pricing reveals the average transaction price for used vehicles in Q1 experienced a 6.4 year-over-year decrease but still remains 44% higher than it was 5 years ago. While there has been some moderation in prices, Edmunds analyst Ivan Drury notes in the research report that used vehicle prices, after experiencing a significant increase, have slightly come back down to earth but remain significantly higher than pre-pandemic levels. With an average transaction price of $28,381 in the first quarter of 2023, the affordability of used cars has become a concern. Compared to 5 years ago, when the average transaction price was $19,657, the cost has significantly escalated. Additionally, the report highlights the dwindling availability of cheaper vehicles. In Q1, only 30.6% of used vehicles were sold for under $20,000, a substantial decrease from the 60.5% in the same period 5 years ago. Edmunds attributes the shrinking pool of used vehicles to various factors, including low lease volume, resulting in fewer off-lease cars entering the market, reduced trade-in volume compared to 5 years ago, and a decline in off-rental vehicles being sold in the used market. Unfortunately, these trends have made it increasingly challenging for buyers in the entry-level car market, especially those with lower incomes. Spending $20,000, which was once considered reasonable for a used car offering a good balance of age and mileage, now often leads to the purchase of an older vehicle approaching the 100,000-mile mark. On the bright side, the report reveals that current owners of used cars haven't experienced significant depreciation in value compared to pre-pandemic times. For instance, the average mileage on a 2018 Toyota Camry has increased by 130% between Q1 2020 to Q1 2023, yet the average transaction price has also risen by 8%. Looking ahead, there may be a glimmer of hope for those planning to enter the used car market in the near future. Edmunds suggests that if new car sales stagnate this year, automakers may resort to incentives to move new vehicles off dealer lots, thereby decreasing pressure on the used market. However, it's worth noting that automakers have learned from the pre-pandemic era and are now focusing on aligning supply and demand. This means they are producing fewer vehicles and increasing the number of built-to-order vehicles. As a result, heavy incentives in the market may become less common. This might usher in a new era in the car market, but what the future holds as a result of the new price tags on used cars is something we might never know until it happens. But what do you think? Would this bring about a new era or make things worse? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below.